Hi everyone, it's Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and today we're going to talk about ways that you can travel cheaper. And so this is an exciting topic for me. I love to travel. A lot of my travel has been with campers or with tents or in a vehicle, but I have taken some travel vacations on a plane. And we just got back from the Florida Keys. If you watch me on TikTok, you knew that. And we saved for this. We paid cash for everything. We came home without being in any debt for that trip. And so I just like to encourage people that you can still travel on a budget, that you can still travel and enjoy things and still be a frugal person. Being frugal has to do with what is important to you and the ways that you want to spend your dollar. It doesn't mean that you're cheap. It just means that you have specific ways that you want to spend your dollar. And we prefer to spend ours on travel. So we're frugal around the house so that we can enjoy things like that when we go. But we're still frugal when we go. And I caught a little bit of backlash on TikTok from a few people. Most people understood this, but I did catch some backlash from some people that thought that you shouldn't pinch pennies when you're on vacation. And my philosophy is different. My philosophy is that if I can take multiple vacations and pinch pennies, I would rather do that than take one vacation in several years or only one vacation per summer and not pinch any pennies. And so we are going to be taking another vacation here in a couple of weeks, and I'm really excited about that. And we just went to the Florida Keys last month. So that's my philosophy. But let me give you some of the tips and some of the pointers that we use when we go places. Now, we did fly this last vacation, and we flew out on a Tuesday and came back on a Wednesday. Those are the two cheapest days to be able to fly out. And when we were checking prices, of course, we maybe checked on my husband's phone, and then when we were ready to purchase, we did it on my computer. That way there wasn't any cookies that was tracking and elevating the prices as we continued to look and figure out the dates that we were going to go. You have to be very careful about that because they do track where you're planning on heading, and then those prices start increasing if you don't buy it right away because they know that you're looking to go there anyway. So as I looked at where we were going to go and where we were going to stay, some of the things that I look for is to make sure that if you are flying in and getting a car, that you can get free parking wherever you're going to stay. Sometimes that is a surprise fee that you don't really think that you're going to be charged, and then you get to the hotel and it's a $25 a day fee just to park your car there. And that can really add up in a hurry if you're there for a week. So be sure and look when you're choosing where you're going to stay and see if there is free parking. The second thing is you want to make sure that you can maybe pack as light as possible so you don't have to pay those extra baggage fees. I took one small suitcase and my husband took one small suitcase for an entire week, and I probably could have fit most of my stuff in his suitcase, but he has a breathing machine for a CPAP at night, so that took up a lot of the space. But we packed very light. We rolled all of our clothing so that it fit in there better. And then one of the days that I was there, I went and soaked a few of the things that we needed to wear again in the bathtub and washed them and then hung them to dry. And I know a lot of people will say, oh my gosh, that's cheap. You know what? To me, time is money. And I sat at the pool for the time that this other lady was running loads and loads through the washer and dryer in the laundry room so that she had clothes for the rest of her trip for her family. She spent the afternoon washing clothes. I spent the afternoon at the pool while my stuff was soaking in the bathtub. It was worth it to me. It made a huge difference for me. It didn't take my time and it didn't take my money. And they were charging $3.50 a load to wash and dry where we stayed. So that adds up pretty quick, as well as your time. Also, we took some breakfast food and we rented a place that had a kitchen. We did eat out. I bet we spent about $80 a day on food, which I think that's pretty good considering we were in the Florida Keys. But we only ate 2 meals out a day, and the other one we ate in our room. Or we ate like a brunch, and then we ate out later in the afternoon. And a couple of the times we even had food left over that was just too much to eat, and we used that the next day, and that also saved us money. Those weren't things that we planned to do, but they're things that worked out, and they did save us a lot of money. We ended up coming back with money left over from what we had budgeted to take with us. And that was pretty exciting that we came back with several $100s more than what we had planned. Also, we looked for free things or cheap things to do. We rented a place that had a small beach, and also it had a kayak that you could use as part of staying there. And it also had a paddle boat that you could use. And so those were things that were already included in our stay. And it was an older resort, but it was clean. We weren't inside very much because we were out at the beach. We were doing things. And then there was a state park down the road that just cost us $4.50 per person to go into the state park and be at the beach for the day. And you can take your ice chest, you can take your drinks. There was lots of things to do around there like that, so it wasn't really an expensive trip. The main thing that we spent our money on was food and the flight and the hotel. Everything else we did was pretty much free. Also, we used like bonus points that I had from the Fetch app that I've talked to you about before, and I'll link that below. We used part of that on our first night coming and going to help pay for our meal that we ate out at the Texas Roadhouse. It was one of the restaurants that I could use my Fetch app points at, and so it took $10 off of our meal both nights. And so that is something that we like to save up for. We like to save up our Fetch points and then use them on vacation to be able to eat out. And it does really add up to help with that. We also used like bonus points. I used the Orbitz app to make my reservations, and I get points back or that turns into dollars that can go towards my next stay or my next travel or my next rental car, whatever I'm doing. And so I use those bonus dollars towards the next hotel that I planned. I also used my credit cards and then paid myself back in cash so that I could get those bonus points and bonus dollars on my credit cards for using those. And we also took advantage of happy hours. There's happy hours for food and for drink if you Google that when you go to stay places. And that makes a huge difference too if you can hit one of those happy hours and save some money there. We also made sure that the place that we picked out let us use their lounge chairs and their beach towels for free. That is another hidden cost that a lot of them will have, that when you get there you have to rent the towel and you have to rent the lounge chair. So that's another hidden fee that you want to keep in mind when you're planning a vacation to somewhere like that. So if you found value in this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate you following my channel, and thank you so much for watching today.